welcome to another 180 Markets Weekly Wrap. And well, friends, it is a tough market out there right now over the past month. It really has turned. But unfortunately for us here at 180 Markets, as tough as the market is, well, Brad, it is a very tough day because today is your final day here. But we do have a parting gift for the audience and for us as investors. And by the way, as a disclaimer, we do not give investment advice. But Brad, what are these words of wisdom?
Thanks. One thematic that we've been following along recently is iron ore and iron ore shipments in particular. Over the last quarter, we have seen a 15-year record high in iron ore shipments, which has purely been driven by growing stimulus and growing GDP growth, particularly in China.
And it's obviously already showing up in share prices, but this is a very tradable thematic.
Very tradable, but got to be very cautious, because if the market keeps like this, like today, I don't think you're going to make money anywhere. But Brad, it's been a pleasure having you at 180 Markets. Our investors love you, but we love you more. The different fundamental analysis that you've been capable of is next level. Now, on that, Brad, you are going to a much bigger firm, and fundamental analysis, I reckon that's your middle name. Tell us, how does that work with small caps, and how does it compare to what you think you'll be doing with larger stocks?
Yeah, Sean, it's definitely a lot different. Specifically in the small cap space, we do like to say that there is a bit of a phrase where you're buying the story and selling the news. In the much larger cap companies specifically, you are looking more of a value-based investment thesis, which could be looking for yields or dividends, and that's quite different to the small cap space.
Well, the small caps at the moment, people are selling the news and they're selling the story as well. So there's just so much selling. Now, Greg and I spoke to a few investors this week, as we do when the market turns, and the feeling is this is the hardest market it has been for a long time.
For sure.
Not hard because it's down, because we've just come off such a strong rally. And when there's a rally, everyone's positive. And how do you just turn that positive into such negativity that we've just seen? It is really tough. I'm still trying to be positive myself, but then you get turnarounds like last night, where there's just so much selling, and it's really hard to get that conviction. It's really hard, and hopefully it turns.
In the meantime, let's go to the charts, and Shaun will show you exactly what is taking place in real time.
Here we are on a 180 Markets platform. Now, I am a bit surprised that there's quite a few placements today, because the market's down a lot, and we knew that it would be after that big turnaround last night. VRX, they are raising only $2 million with a 65 million market cap. Maybe that's a sign of the times.
Yep, and I'm not sure if they can take up overs, but it does seem small compared to its market cap.
Exactly, and at a 17% discount. So, may have to take a closer look at that. ABX, Greg, I know you keep talking about this one and the liquidity, and it's really popular because of that. And we've got a high allocation confidence. So that's really important for you guys to start using, and feel free to call us about that. But pretty confident we'll get a high allocation there.
That's right.
And that's not because the deal's popular, unpopular, or anything. We just got a good...
yes, we have a relationship with the company and the lead manager, and we are in very good condition there.
VHM, they are raising at a pretty big discount, 25%, and going out to raise $10 million. So good luck to the boys at Evolution. Now, let's take a look at the screen, because there are a lot of companies with charts like this.
Yeah.
So let's start with Pinnacle Minerals, one of those companies that raised money, went up a lot, and now is all the way back down. They really took advantage of the critical mineral space.
Yes.
Put critical mineral projects in there, and Greg, what do you reckon in a couple of years' time about all these projects that are going into these companies?
Shaun, I think that 10% of them will actually be moneymakers and the rest, unfortunately, will not. So the key is to find those 10% and have those pay for the 90% losses.
There's another one, PNN, Power Minerals.
Yes.
I don't know what they put in there, but I'm guessing it was critical minerals.
That's right.
And lastly, LSR. That was a big pump because we followed this company for a while,
Yes.
and now trading under raised price and pretty disappointing. Investors have probably lost quite a bit of money there, but
Shaun, I have a question, not to cut you off, but I need to, is that in all these charts, do you normally see them just falling off a cliff like that when you have this much money that was coming into the market just 6 weeks ago?
As we said in the start, this is a tough market. It's tough to go from being so positive to being so negative. And we often talk about how hard you go in the market and then how you change that when the markets turn, and that's the hardest part because I'm still feeling a little bit positive from the weeks back, and we hope that things turn, and maybe this is just a small downturn, but every day just gets worse and worse. Let's look at some other baddies. LTEC Batteries, ATC, one we used to love. Look at that 1 year chart. It's just completely turned at new lows now. So Iggy's got to turn his tan around, and hopefully he can do that. TMG, another market darling. Look at that. Hit 20, I think it hit 22 intraday. That's halved. What do you think of this company, Greg?
Don't know. Again, it's in that 90-10 bucket. Hopefully it's one of those 10%.
Yeah, that's not what you told me, but we don't want to be rude to anyone. SGQ, another market darling. They went as high as 18 cents recently.
Yes.
You can't see it in the chart because that was intraday. But now down at 9. And look at that run. I remember when it was down here, 2 cents.
Couldn't get out of its own way, Shaun.
No, just kept going and going. And then you just need a market like this just to take the steam out. How else can we get depressed? Drone Shield, very depressing.
Shaun, what happened in Drone Shield over the last week? What was the news?
The news was that insiders are selling, directors are selling, the CEOs resign. I don't know how that can happen in such a short period of time, going from $6 to $1.68.
And Shaun, do you also feel like when you put out bad news on a bad market condition, it just exasperates it?
It feels like bad news comes in a bad market.
Okay.
It feels like good news comes in a good market. That's just the feeling that I'm getting.
Yeah.
Stories like this you don't often see in a really good market. But what I think would have been the right thing to do, maybe for the CEOs and everyone else that sold, was probably brief the market when it was up here.
Yes.
Instead of just selling their stock. But
organize a block trade.
Everyone's money hungry, aren't they, Greg?
Yes.
And everyone wants to maximize their own profits. Ones we looked at last week continued to fall. Arafura, 25 cents. Doesn't look too good in the charts. I think we did mention that in the good old days, just a month ago, it actually on this day, it opened at 62, and now everyone's just sold these stocks and down and down. Another one that was a market darling and has really turned, ABM, terrible there. They did a placement, got a ramp up from certain rampers, and trading back at 8 cents, and
it happens.
Time will tell if this is a real deal or not. People are very unsure at this point. Let's finally finish with GCM, another stock. There was a market darling and completely turned around. There was some underwriting of options, and lucky for the company, they got the money in the underwriting, but since then, so much selling. All right.
Well, guys, that is a wrap on the tough tape out there. Shaun, for the weekend, the final question, what did you think of the Carlton draft?
I thought Carlton did as expected, but there were definitely some winners out there like Essendon, and hopefully they turn out to be losers because I just love seeing them lose. Collingwood too. All right, everyone, have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.